You are here because the outside world rejects you.
I'm the best there is at what I do, but what I do isn't very nice.
Come on, let's get nuts.
This guy's got the right idea. He wore the brown pants.
Cowabunga.
Cowabunga!
I made a funny. Come on, Peter Tingle. Here we go.
What's up? What's up? What up?
Welcome to an all-new Nerds to Men. I am Brad Reed.
I'm your boy Cameo.
And
long time no see.
It has been a little while.
Yeah.
I think the last show we did was Star Wars Visions. If that tells you how long ago it's been. So
yeah,
we've both been, working busy, the holidays. Of course, you don't do holidays as much, but it's still a busier time for everyone,
Right.
Yeah, and people probably need security even more. And if you do, call my guy Cameo.
I'm your dude.
Yeah. But yeah, so we just been, taking a little break. We got a few things. You could give me like a one-word review, maybe like a Venom 2.
I liked it.
That's 3 words.
Okay, sorry.
I got one.
Oh yeah.
Fun.
Yeah.
It was fun. And let's see what else has happened since we've been gone. Well,
two trailers came out for Spider-Man No Way Home.
Oh yeah, we're gonna talk about Spider-Man here in a little bit for sure. Our predictions.
What else happened?
So much.
A lot. Oh, Eternals came out.
Okay. One word for Eternals.
Meh.
Yeah, long.
Yeah.
And the movie was long too. But we're also, before we, kind of get into everything, we're going to talk about Ghostbusters Afterlife. And we have a special guest, Riley Hahn. And he's about to join us. But before I bring him in, I want to ask you, Cameo, real quick. The other thing that's kind of happened since, I've been healing up and you've been doing your thing is you've turned into a dancing TikTok star.
Star, I would, no, not yet. There's just like a little spark, just a little.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, it's me liking them like a million times. Like I sign in.
Well, I appreciate that. Thank you.
All the accounts. And I hit like. Cause I've got too many accounts. You know what I mean? I owe too many people money.
Burner accounts.
Yeah. I've got one for every girl in every state. You know what I'm saying?
Your trolling accounts.
Yeah.
Like KD has.
Dude, I have often thought about like starting troll accounts for like local businesses that like, especially when I was in the radio, you can't necessarily talk about some people. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
Blade Runner from The Cat, he was a legend. He mentioned something about a local gas station. They cut him from The Cat.
Wow.
Yeah. So, yeah. Anyway, but I thought about doing that. Or like, to leave bad reviews on local podcasts or something. I mean, I'm petty. I'm petty like that. So anyway, but look for Cameo on TikTok because he's going to be one of those people that everybody's like, oh, I follow you on TikTok.
Yes, it's going to be just one time. I'm going to have a viral video, just the one time.
Yeah.
That's all I need. I just need it.
All right. Well, Riley's waiting in our little Zoom waiting room. So I'm going to go ahead and bring him in.
Cool. So you've been busting ghosts lately?
Me?
Yeah.
No,
I see the proton pack, man.
I've been working lately to pay for all the collectibles of busting ghosts I want to buy.
Oh, man. I used to actually do ghost hunting, I guess. We called it paranormal investigating, but I still want a proton pack. That would be dope.
Oh, like that one?
Yeah.
Did you buy that or did you make it?
We didn't have any cool equipment.
It was made. It'll cost you over a G right there.
Nice.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
The lights and everything like that. But Hasbro has this. They do this Hasbro Pulse. Have you seen that?
Yes.
We do like the campaigns. Well, they're doing a full 1-to-1 scale replica proton pack. And it's like, I think it has like 10 more days left and it's already at 13,000 backers.
Wow.
It's like $400, but it's like full movie quality replica and everything of the new movie Proton Pack, and it looks dope.
Nice.
There's-
You just don't get it till spring 2023.
Ghostbusters is going to be just like the Ninja Turtles. Everything that they release, I'm going to buy, and then I'm going to be in debt. I'm going to have to do more podcasts.
Oh, if this wasn't a laptop and I took you for a tour around my house, you'd be like, well, there's hundreds of dollars and hundreds of dollars. It's all Ghostbuster stuff.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah. Well,
I call it the When I Get Married Going in the Attic collection.
Yeah.
my wife, she has a thing she's been doing lately where if she wants something, she goes and stands in front of my toy shelves and she's like, hey, what do you think if I got this? And I'm like, I know what you're doing here.
Yeah.
But yes, I will pay for that because what she doesn't know is I bring home 6 figures a month, but it's 6 action figures. So,
Yeah.
and I've already pre-ordered. I've got my pre-order in right now on a few. So as soon as those show up, I'm going to be in more trouble. But, you know, it is what it is. Riley, I want to ask you about something real quick.
What's up?
Before we talk about Ghostbusters, because you admit, you know, Ghostbusters supposed to come out like a year ago. And
Oh, yeah.
or earlier this year, and we had talked about having you on because you're a big fan of Ghostbusters. But
Incredibly big.
before, I just want to talk about real quick, like you know, your involvement in the music and all that. Are you still is Soul Crisis still a band? Because I know, like with the pandemic and stuff, I don't know who's in what now.
Yeah, we're definitely still a band. I still talk to the guys occasionally. We haven't really played a show though since that Dope Static X one. Was it November, December 2019?
Mm-hmm.
We were supposed to go on a big tour back in March of 2020. Obviously, that got canceled.
Yeah.
And then we rescheduled the tour for the winter, fall area, and things still weren't open. So it's going to be like missing a bunch of cities. And we're not at that caliber that we can really take days off. So when we go on tour, we want to play a show every single night just to kind of be able to pay for everything. And it just hasn't happened yet, man. Like everything keeps falling through, and the turnouts for shows aren't really what they're supposed to be right now. So some people still aren't really going out. It's like the big name shows, like A-listers, packing out arenas.
Mhm.
But the small level club bands, I mean, it's very hit and miss when it comes to turnouts. So we just been kind of laying low. We own my guitar player has his own recording studio, so we work on new music and record new music, but just no really shows going on right now. But we're definitely still around. And by the way, speaking of that, I do appreciate you guys giving us shout outs and promoting that last show we did. That was really cool of you guys.
Right on.
No
Yeah.
problem at all, man.
Yeah. Well, you know, I used to, when I did the local talent show on the Cat, I played y'all a lot. But this is the first time we've ever really had a conversation. So, but like I said, you know, if people go to any shows in Oklahoma, they've either seen you playing or you're there, you know. You're
oh yeah, man. It's the funnest thing to do. I'd rather go see even a mediocre at best band than go sit at a bar by myself playing jukebox on my phone.
Yeah, yeah. Well, where can they follow you
Make
guys?
fun of it.
Where can they follow you guys and, you know, keep up to date
So
with everything?
the band itself, we're on Facebook, Instagram, Spotify, iTunes, all that. Soul Crisis. I think Instagram, it's the official Soul Crisis, and then Facebook, just Soul Crisis, Spotify, Soul Crisis. But I'll tell you this, if you do listen to us on Spotify, there's 2 Soul Crises that we're in some legal dispute about. And the other one is some weird band that just randomly put out like a covers album or something like this. But it's like folk rock.
Oh, yeah.
So, very weird and obscure. You'll definitely know the difference between the two.
Yeah.
One, because ours will have thousands of views and theirs will have hundreds.
Yeah.
Because people accidentally listen to them instead of us.
Yeah.
The amount of money that band has made on iTunes and Spotify, people thinking it's us, is ridiculous.
Yeah.
that is we had somebody on YouTube that tried to do Nerdz 2 Men with the 2, and I was like, no, we already claimed that one too, so get out.
Yeah.
but when I was in Killer Gandhi, like any other bands that had Gandhi in the name, I was always like, you know, like
Oh, you were in Killer Gandhi?
Yeah, I played
with Tony Z and all them?
Yeah, Tony, yeah. He was our drummer.
I haven't seen Tony in forever, man. That's a good dude.
Yeah. He's still working with Cameo up at the radio station.
Mm-hmm. He's on the Sports Animal now.
Yeah.
And I think he does on the weekends. Yeah.
Because I hear him
Okay.
like as like the background guy on Thal Houchback and all them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so
I remember I was like 13 years old, like calling up the radio station on the request line at like 8 p.m. He's like, "Hey Tony, what's going on? How you doing?" And I was like, I was just a 13-year-old kid. I thought he was so cool, and I just have like a 5-minute conversation.
That's
he would
cool.
just listen to me ramble about bands that he definitely can't play on the radio.
Oh, that's hilarious.
That was so cool of him.
Now, he probably doesn't watch, but he might get mad if I tell him. Like there's this one person who calls like every DJ all the time, right? And so, and he'll sit on the phone like to talk to you forever. Like he'll want to talk forever. But like if you put him on hold, like I think Tony had to put him on hold one day and do a break and do something else. And like 30 minutes later, he's like, "Oh crap!" And he goes back, and the guy's still waiting. And he's, but which is funny, but at the same time, like, some people they don't have anybody else to talk to. So I guess it's a good outlet.
That's true.
I mean, when I was a teenager, I thought, or 12, 13, I thought radio DJs were like, ooh, local celebrities. Like, I thought the fact that like a radio DJ was taking 5 minutes out of his time to like talk to me, like off air, was like some cool stuff.
Yeah. I used to, because I always wanted to do radio. Like that was my dream growing up. And like I called the radio stations all the time and talked to them. And then it's funny, like you learn the other thing about radio is nobody looks like they sound.
No. Oh no, the hotter they are, the less hot they are.
Yes,
exactly. Because Cameo,
I mean, listen to me. I got this gross, raspy, nasty voice that goes with this jawline, so it works out. You know what I mean?
People all the time, they're like, they come up to our booth, they're like, "Cameo, oh, we thought you were a lot better looking than you are. You sound, you sound great.
No way.
You sound like you should be on a radio station in Chicago, but
but no."
I went to high school with Cam. That dude's always been a good-looking cat. He's always been a good-looking cat. He had a lot more hair. But,
that's also true. Yeah. Now, when you have kids, it all goes away.
Was Cameo like dancing up and down like the hallways, and was
no, like he was. Everyone loved him. He was always so nice to everybody. But he did this weird thing in class where he would clear his throat or scratch his throat.
You remember that?
Yes, because you'd be in the class. It was like, noop, noop, noop.
Wait, here we go.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
And you'd just be sitting like we taking a test. It's complete silence, and that's all you hear.
Yeah, I know exactly. I've heard him do it too. That's funny. That's good stuff. I just wondered because Cameo, he's getting even too big for Nerds to Men now. Like he's about to be like a TikTok superstar.
Oh, get out of here! No, I'm not.
Oh no, I see him at the gym. He's not getting too big.
But he's also available for your next video. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. If you need a backup dancer, hit me up.
I feel like you haven't seen our videos to see the dancers we put in our videos.
I have.
I mean, I could be those.
Okay.
I mean, you might not like it, but I mean, I can.
You might at least just let him choreograph the video or something.
With that being said, our album Strip is in stores now.
There it is. All right, so let's get into Ghostbusters. First, before we talk about the movie, I want to talk about real quick, just everybody kind of give a summary of their Ghostbusters fandom, because I grew up loving those movies, like especially the first one. I watched the second one again last night because it's been a minute since I watched the second one, and it was good. There's a lot of good one-liners and stuff, but the first one, it's just amazing. What did you guys like? How did you guys get into Ghostbusters exactly?
You go first, Cam, because I feel like my story is going to be too in depth.
Okay. Well, I think it was before I saw the movies, I saw the cartoon in the 90s.
The real Ghostbusters.
Yeah. So, I was kind of upset because Slimer, was basically their pet in the cartoon. And then when I saw the movie later on, I was like, Slimer's a bad guy? Like, why are y'all doing Slimer like that?
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, basically that's how I got into Ghostbusters, was watching the cartoon. And man, I just loved it. The movies were amazing. I forget, what was the song that was played when they got the Marshmallow Man?
Oh man,
I can't remember the song.
When they got the Marshmallow Man?
Oh yeah. When they were they were about to go kill it. They were on the Statue of Liberty. And
that's the second movie. Statue of Liberty is the second movie.
Oh, okay.
That's,
Was that the Bobby Brown song?
Hiya,
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I think I saw the second one first before I saw the original.
The one with the
And- yeah. But I loved it, man. I mean, Ghostbusters is probably one of the best 80s/90s fandom ever.
Well, because, like the movie, you had the comedy, of course, but it also, like, especially as I think I was 5 or 6 when that came out, it was kind of scary in a way,
Yeah, with that library ghost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the best part was the puppetry. I mean, it was all puppets with like a hint of CGI around it. You know what I mean? And then even in the new one, they kept that original feel alive by making sure they did a lot of puppets and not make it all CGI like the 2014 one was.
Yeah.
They wanted to keep that puppet aspect because that give it more of a realistic look. I mean, I've loved Ghostbusters since I was a little kid. That's probably a Ghostbusters for Halloween 1,000 times. Is that the Ghostbusters or Beetlejuice?
Yeah.
So I got the Ghostbuster Beetlejuice crossover shirt.
Oh, that's pretty dope.
Nice.
Nice.
But I mean, it's my second favorite movie. But I've always just loved Ghostbusters, and it's been a big part of my life. And then when I got, but there wasn't like a lot of collectible market like that. Wasn't a thing. I mean, you had like the old real Ghostbusters figures. We got it like Venture and Kmart when we were kids.
Venture.
But, there wasn't. Remember Venture? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I called it the Trap Store because the logo looked like the ghost trap from Ghostbusters.
Right.
But I mean, and it was just a big part. Then I got in my 20s, and the collectible market for Ghostbusters really shot up with like Matty Collector and stuff like that. So that's why I got really into like collecting, and then like fan groups. I was able to actually like with Facebook and like groups and stuff like this, and like my addiction just kind of started growing and growing when I realized I wasn't the only grown adult into Ghostbusters. A couple of years ago, I went to Fan Fest in LA for the 35th anniversary of Ghostbusters. They had the big thing at the Sony lot. And it was like this big, huge Comic-Con, but only about Ghostbusters. So like the cast of the movies there, and like even like the cast of the cartoon. So I met Steve Coulier, who played Uncle Joey on Full House.
Right.
He did the voice of Peter Venkman in the cartoon. So
That's
I think I was happier to meet Uncle Joey than I was the voice of Peter Venkman, though. But still,
I didn't even realize he was the voice. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So I just got really into it. I mean, I got Ghostbusters. I mean, you get tattoos all over my body.
Oh, that's
sweet.
cool.
That's pretty dope.
I mean, it's been a huge part of my life, and it makes me look like a giant virgin. People saw my house and didn't know me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
yeah, because you're not.
Hey,
he's a rock star. So, hey, check out my Slimer.
Oh, can't see it.
You can't, which I think is even better, right?
it's a ghost. Yeah, it's a ghost.
Let's see if I get it in the right light. But yeah, I was like, I'm going to put him on the table, and then he doesn't even really show up. So that's funny. But yeah, I've got that one too. Did you get that one from Spirit Halloween?
I did.
Great call, because I've seen them for way more other places, and then like I saw them at Spirit, and I was like, oh, that's not that expensive. I gotta have that. So
because what's it? I don't even know, like Entertainment Earth website, they'll have that one from Sideshow Collectibles or someone else, and it's like $400 or $500.
Yeah,
but it's movie size. I mean, that thing is 4 or 5 feet tall. I'm like, where am I going to put that?
Right.
I
mean, you would find a place, but
well, if I'm finding a place, I think it's gonna be the Spirit, the Terror Dog.
Oh,
you seen that Terror Dog they made?
Yeah.
Oh, they have a Terror Dog on Spirits, and I think it's like $600.
Oh,
but
wow.
It's the giant, the big Terror Dogs from Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
It's huge. But I'm like, where am I? It's the size of a couch. Like, where are you gonna put that in a house? My house is 1,700 square feet. That's a whole room. That's
exactly.
a whole room.
Yeah.
Did you get any of do you collect the action figures too?
Oh, 100,000%.
Did you get like the newer ones?
Oh yeah. So Diamond Select did the run. They did 4 series, all incredible. You put them together and you build like big play sets. Like the first 2 runs built like the firehouse. No, they built the Temple of Gozer.
Oh yeah.
And you get all 20 figures. And then the second series they did built the front door to the firehouse. But no, I have in my closet that's literally floor to ceiling of all of them still in the box because I'm a nerd and I keep them in the box.
See,
but it's just a floor to ceiling closet of just action figures.
Cameo shamed me, so I took mine out of the box. But I didn't. I like to keep them in the box. Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
There's some that I still have in the box for me. But those are like, my Ninja Turtles and stuff like that. But did you read the comics, Riley?
The Ghostbusters, but there's so many different series now. Mm-hmm. So it's hard to keep up with the comics. Like they have like the year one Ghostbusters, and then they had that original just line. I just never got really into them. I mean, there's so many good stories I read out in the fan groups. But I just never got them. The only one I got into was the Ghostbusters Transformers.
Oh, okay. Because I was going to ask you if you read the Ghostbusters and Ninja Turtle one, because I've never read them.
I've seen them. Actually, I never read them.
Yeah. Because
Ghostbusters Transformers was awesome.
Really? Okay.
Because it was the 35th anniversary of both, so they made Ectotron, where the
I saw that
card turns into a Transformer.
Yeah,
and it's amazing. I have the figure of it, but it's way over there. But
okay,
no, it's still in the box. But there's the shitty part is in the box. It's the Ecto one. You have no idea how bad I want to take it out and play with it and turn it into the giant Ectotron robot.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I mean, that was a $70 figure. I'm not trying to take that out of the box. So
Right.
It just looks like a car on my shelf at all times now. So there's a cartoon art. I know what it kind of looks like.
Yeah.
I got all the ones. I can't remember who put them out now, but last year they put out like 4 of them. Actually it was 6 of them, and then the Ecto. But it was from the new movie. But they had put them out last year, probably thinking that the movie was coming out when it was. So. But they were cool because they were like, very lifelike looking as far as the figures. I'll throw.
The Hasbro Pulse figures are incredible.
Yeah, that's the ones.
Hasbro Pulse, they're incredible figures.
They are.
They're doing what Hasbro has done for the Ghostbuster line is just amazing. Like they've brought so much life into it. They have so many ideas. Granted, a lot of their ideas depend on what the movie does well. But I mean, they have so many great ideas. They brought back the real Ghostbusters figures. Did you see that?
Yeah, I got all those.
The retro versions of the old Ghostbusters figures. They brought all those back. But Hasbro's doing great things with the Ghostbusters toy line, and they're breathing a lot of life into it. And I'm really happy with the products.
Yeah,
they released a figure Friday that I think only like Target's got like 8 per Target. It's only exclusive at Target. And I don't want to give away spoilers for the movie. But the Phoebe, the little girl of the movie, her figure hadn't come out and no one knew why, because it's part of a 2-pack. And the other half of that 2-pack is the big ending spoiler of the movie. So they didn't want to release the figure right away. Yeah. But now you can get that 2-pack figure, and I've seen all of them. It's hard to find now.
2-pack the rapper?
The only problem is that the caption on the figure is, "A family that busts together stays together," which is a horrible tagline.
Yeah,
it is.
But figure 2-pack, I'm sure at this point you can guess what the other figure is, and it looks awesome. You could probably Google it. I don't want to spoil anything.
Oh, I thought you were saying that the other figure is 2-pack. 2-pack Shakur.
Get out. But the tagline.
The hologram 2-pack.
Yeah. But it's funny because you say how the tagline on the action figure isn't the best. Neither is the song where he says bustin' makes me feel so good.
Who does it not make feel good?
I know. Yeah, come on, Cameo.
They were like, well, I hated that one.
Right. I wonder if they look back and they're like, because as a kid growing up listening to it and singing along to it, like you don't think about it, and then you're like, when you're older, like, yeah, that's probably not a little kid singing the song.
Have you guys had a chance to watch the new CBS show Ghosts?
No.
Oh my god, it's actually pretty funny. It's about they move into this. I mean, I'm not the plot. Anyways, there's ghosts in the show.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they're always trying to get taken to the afterlife, like no longer be ghosts, like taken to heaven or like this. and they're like old timey ghosts, like Victorian era and stuff like this, and they call it getting sucked off. It's like I just can't wait to get sucked off into the sky. And they keep saying this, and there's one ghost that's from the 90s, and the people that can see them are they're like, I don't think you guys know what that means. And the ghost in the 90s is like, stop, don't say anything. This is all I have going in life. Is that the ghost keeps saying it. I can't wait to get sucked off. And it's amazing that they're able to say that on CBS.
That is
because
funny.
It's ghosts, it's okay.
I've heard about that show. It's like I think it was a British show, and now they've made an American.
Yeah.
So I'll have to check.
But you know how
that
TV is. I don't think it's going to last more than 1 or 2 seasons. With
Not-
the way
if it's
CBS
good.
shows go now.
Right.
If it's a good one, they'll cancel it right away. That's how they do.
Exactly.
Right?
So let's talk about Ghostbusters Afterlife then, because we talked about the first 2 movies. Actually, before that, I do want to just real quick. Did you like the remake with the all-female cast?
What do you think? I like Paul Feig. I met him at the Ghostbusters Fan Fest. That dude's a very awesome, very nice guy.
Mm-hmm.
So as him as a person, I'm not going to talk trash. But I'll say this. The first 30 minutes of that movie, B-. Good movie. The last hour of that movie, D. The girls did great. I think I love every girl. Every actor in that movie did fantastic. The delivery of the lines were fantastic, but the lines were horrible.
Mm-hmm.
It was just bad. It was a bad plot. The movie kind of just fell off halfway through to me.
I agree. And, I've said before, and this will tie into the new movie, but that they should have tied it into the original Ghostbusters better than they did. And, and then for them to have cameos where they're not even, who they were, just kind of was off-putting to me. What'd you say?
Blame Bill Murray for that.
Was it what was his deal?
That they tried to make Ghostbusters 3 for 20 years and Bill Murray wouldn't do it.
Right.
Him and Harold Ramis had a huge falling out on the set of Groundhog Day.
Oh.
And because of that, they didn't talk really for years. So Dan Aykroyd and Harold Ramis would mail Bill Murray scripts for Ghostbusters 3 all the time. They probably mailed him 100 different scripts, and he would send them back or not respond to them, and they never made the movie. Like, they tried to make Ghostbusters 3 for 20 years, and Bill Murray just did not want to work with Harold Ramis ever again.
Let me ask you.
I guess they made amends, like on Harold Ramis's, like when he was sick in the hospital, rest in peace. They made amends, and they're good now. But there was a huge time period where Bill Murray just was like, nope, I'm good. And it never got made Ghostbusters 3.
Man.
The original, there was so many different plots where they go to hell. There was one where they go to hell. The plot that they really wanted to go with was where Bill Murray was going to die in the beginning of the movie, get hit by a bus. And it was going to be Bill Murray's ghost the entire movie for comic relief, pretty much.
That would be great.
Cool.
I think that would be great. Because I was going to ask, would it? I kind of feel like it would be, but would it have been heresy for them to not have him in the third one?
Well, since he didn't want, they kind of need his star power. Let's be honest. I mean,
true. Dan
Aykroyd's my favorite Ghostbuster, one of my favorite actors and writers of all time. But as far as pop culture goes, that's a Bill Murray movie.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, because he
did Meatballs. That's a great movie. I'm gonna go see the guy from Meatballs movie.
Right.
They're there for Bill Murray.
Yeah. It's funny. I did a paper on Wes Anderson. You can look this up some other time, but I swear all of his movies are
right now.
Yeah. All of his movies are I guess I don't know, a tribute to Meatballs, because he's got Bill Murray in every one of them. They wear these Adidas tracksuits. They're at camp, and you look at all this stuff, and it's like, this dude totally is, he loved Meatballs growing up. But anyway.
I'm not a big Wes Anderson movie fan, but now I feel like I should be. I need to watch all of them again now.
Yeah, like Royal Tenenbaums, something like that. You'll
Yeah.
I love Meatballs.
Yeah, that was a great one. But yeah, so I'll tell you, with this movie, what I really liked about it was I felt like it really did. I mean, of course it did because of the characters that were involved, but it really did tie into the first two. So it wasn't like, just we're going to try to do something and it kind of, we'll maybe show these guys. Like, it really did have like a story that was built around the original Ghostbusters. Even though, they aren't the center of this movie.
Right. No, I agree because from what I can remember, because I hadn't watched the original. I want to say since possibly like maybe earlier 2000s, maybe like around between 2005 2010 when it came on TV. But I mean, this was, I want to say this stayed true to the originals, unlike like you were saying of like the all girl cast. I liked the all girl cast for what it was, but it just didn't have the same, flair to it like the originals did. But yeah, this I guess you can would you call this Ghostbusters 3 then?
Yeah,
technically.
This is okay. Ghostbusters 3, yeah.
So yeah, Ghostbusters 3, man. I mean, I liked it. It was hilarious. I like the new generation, I guess you could say, of the Ghostbusters, and and it was just great to see all the original cast. I mean, obviously Harold wasn't a part of it, but seeing Dan Aykroyd, Bill Murray, Ernie Hudson, it's great.
Well,
we aren't doing spoilers right now, right?
Yeah, we can spoil. We normally do do spoilers usually.
Okay, I didn't want to talk too much about the spoilers and stuff. I don't know if that was like in the second half.
No, you good.
No, but we will talk about spoilers. I do want to say first though, like one thing that hold on, we got 10 minutes, and then we'll have to redo the Zoom. We'll have to restart it, but anyway, we'll worry about that when we get there. All right. One thing though that I wanted to mention about the beginning of the movie, because like a friend of mine had reviewed the movie and they had walked out in the middle of the movie, and so I was like, oh my gosh, this can't. I haven't heard like a lot of people say it's great, so I was worried for a minute. Of course, I loved it when I saw it, but like one of his things that he said was like there weren't any real jokes at the beginning, and I was like, it's a different tone at the beginning than some of the others. It's a different, it's a more serious kind of tone. And then, cause it finds this family and things aren't going great for this family, So, I mean, there's not a lot of jokes that could be told. And
the first half of the movie relies on that podcast character.
Yeah.
Kind of him and Paul Rudd here and there kind of sprinkling in the humor, but it's not, it wasn't original.
But
it wasn't four of the comedy greats.
Right.
Three of the comedy greats all together, though.
Right.
So didn't have that.
True. I did think that like as the movie picked up, it got funnier, but it wasn't the right tone for a lot of jokes at the beginning anyway. And you had they'll move to the house in Oklahoma. Old man Spangler had lived there, and
The
dirt farmer.
Yeah.
And like he wasn't well liked and all of that. So it was just, it was a different tone. And then of course you didn't see any ghosts right away either. Like they built it up, but I mean, that's okay for me. Like I didn't mind them building it up. I've seen the first.
There actually wasn't that many ghosts in the entire movie.
Right. That's
like
true.
They only caught one.
Yeah.
Muncher.
Mm-hmm.
And then they never really, I mean, it kind of didn't have that where there's catching ghosts, but then again, they don't know how to use the equipment. They have no idea what they're doing.
Right.
It was definitely a ways into the movie before you saw Muncher, and that was kind of weird. But you got to think, even the original Ghostbusters, I mean, it was like 30 plus minutes in the movie before you see Slimer. I mean, it was definitely a while into the movie.
Yeah, well, it was when they got into that hotel, right?
Yeah. Sledgewick.
Yeah. So, okay.
God, I'm a nerd.
Muncher or Slimer? Which one did you like better?
So my favorite, I'm the guy that says, hate me if you will, I think Ghostbusters 2 is my favorite.
Oh, yeah?
I don't know why. I just always have loved Ghostbusters 2 better. Maybe it's the black jumpsuits I thought were just cooler.
That was cool.
The brown.
That was cool.
But I love Ghostbusters 2. Ghostbusters Afterlife, I mean, it's obviously third in my list because original, it's got to be in there. But I mean, they're all equal to me. Like I'm a grown man that cried twice in this movie.
Oh, nice.
I mean, like tears. I'm like next to my friend, like blowing in my own eyes. So like, I don't like start bawling my eyes out. But it got bad reviews, but it was people that weren't Ghostbusters fans. And their main argument for the most critics is that it's very fan driven. The movie was made for fans. Mm-hmm. So if you haven't seen Ghostbusters 1 ever, you aren't going to understand half this movie. And I feel like I love the movie. I give it 10 out of 10. But at the same time, I want to say that if you haven't seen the original Ghostbusters, you aren't going to probably think this is a good movie because they try to quickly explain things. But at the same time, it's like it's so much to explain and you're kind of lost and you'll be lost in a lot of the plot. They throw a lot of scenes of nostalgia into it, which I love as a Ghostbusters fan. But if you're not a Ghostbusters fan, you're like, why did the camera just zoom in on the proton pack for a solid 3 minutes straight?
Yeah.
When they don't know what a proton pack is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So but as a fan, 10 out of 10. If you're not a fan, I feel like I love the story.
Yeah.
And there's some making like the Shandor mine and like bringing it all the way back to Ivo Shandor, who made the building from the first movie. I thought that was just genius.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Right.
But you won't get that reference at all if you haven't seen if you aren't like invested in Ghostbusters culture. So to you, just like, oh, it's just called, that's the name of the mine. And then that whole 30 seconds of footage had no effect on you inside at all.
Yeah.
You got no special fuzzy feeling when you saw that.
Yeah.
And I feel like that is something that's a problem. But as a whole, man, I thought this is a perfect movie.
Well, I will say though that I don't call me a bad parent, by the way, but my stepson has never seen all like the first two Ghostbusters. Actually, no, he did see the first one, like because we watched some of it at Halloween. But he hasn't seen the first.
Like, some of it?
All, yeah, he didn't watch all of it. Noah's not the type to like. He's got like a attention deficit disorder, so he's wondering. But we went and saw this at the theater, and he was like, "Oh man, I love that. I got to go see the first two." And I was like, "Yeah, you do. Like, how did I miss that? You haven't seen them? Jeez." But
well, we have so many movies from our childhood. You know what I mean? It's like, if I was to bring up a kid, me being the guy I am, it's like, what do I make him watch first? Like, he can finally understand, like, okay, we got to start with Ghostbusters and then Beetlejuice. And then,
yeah.
But then kids nowadays, like Beetlejuice, when I was a kid, that was a kid's movie. I mean, they turned it into a cartoon, had lunch boxes. Mm-hmm. That's not a kid's movie nowadays.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't, that wouldn't be considered a kid's movie. So it's like, you just got to, I watched Aliens, when I was a kid. Like, they had Aliens action figures. If it was a movie, it had figures. Congo had action figures.
Yes.
Did Congo need action figures? No. But did I have the Amy action figure? 100%.
Yeah.
So it's like, what do you show kids first? Because you have to watch all their movies
Gremlins.
now.
Gremlins.
That's the first movie you show your kid?
I made sure they all watched it.
Gremlins 1 or Gremlins 2 is better. What do you think?
Oh, man. That's like asking me which kid is better. No, definitely Gremlins 1, and I definitely have a favorite kid, so I won't say which one. No, but I did want to, because you had mentioned that about like this one being more for the fans, but that's how it should be. I mean, that's really how it should be, because I feel like that's what we missed out on the other movie, right? The remake, and so this one, It was for the fans, and like you said, for like fans who noticed these little things, or like fans like my son who didn't know much, but he still loved the movie, But I do agree with you. I think whoever wrote this movie, was it maybe Jason Reitman?
Jason Reitman and one of his partners, they wrote it. And then his dad was kind of like hovering.
Yeah. Well, I think that they listened to this podcast, okay? Because here's why. They put a guy in there named Podcast. I mean, that was based on me. I could tell.
Okay. A 10-year-old Asian boy.
Exactly. He from Oklahoma, right? Okay. He said the coolest job in the world was be a DJ. I mean, again. And then the fact that at one point I was a Ghostbuster. So, like a real live Ghostbuster. So, and I also laid out the what the story should be for Afterlife years ago, and that's what they did. Cameo can attest to that.
It's based off your life.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. Yeah. I loved it. I loved it.
And the connection and the connection that I have with this is Ernie Hudson. That's it. I interviewed him one time. It was fun. Dude is amazing.
Ernie Hudson's a great guy.
Yeah.
Oh God, I've met him twice now, and he he has been phenomenally just the sweetest, kindest person.
Right.
So nice. I went to a comic convention and a Comic-Con, and I had prepaid for like the photo op with him and stuff like this.
Mm-hmm.
And I showed up with the pack on, my jumpsuit, all this stuff ready to go. And he had left like 5 minutes early. So I got in because it was like 10 a.m. when he had to do his thing. So I had to get to the line and all that stuff. I get in there. He had already gotten on the little golf cart, gone back to the back. They said, "Oh, there's one more fan here that paid for this." Came all the way back. I was like sitting there with someone from Firefly. I don't know, some girl I never watched. I never watched Firefly. Shoot me. I apologize. So he comes all the way back to the, like, he'd already like almost left the arena. Comes back to the arena, all the way back in, just for one quick photo with me. He sits there talking about me. He sees my tattoo, and I'm like, look, I have your face on my arm. And he was like, I love it. This is so cool. And he sat there, he took a photo. He could not have been sweeter for a guy that literally just did all that, when he could just be like, oh no, I've already left. I'm not going back for one photo.
Yeah.
And then he went back, and I saw him at the booth the next day. I saw him at his booth, and I mean, he just said that he'll talk to fans as long as they want to.
Yeah.
About anything they want.
Yeah. He's
Super
super
nice
cool,
guy.
dude.
And it's sad that he has not got the credit he deserves.
Exactly.
I mean, you see like 80% of Ghostbusters stuff doesn't have him in it.
Exactly.
It's like the shots without him. And you're like, I mean, in my mind, he missed the first 30 minutes of the first movie.
Yeah.
But other than that, he is just as much a Ghostbuster as Bill Murray. You know what I mean? He is a core member. And I love how the new movie, with the ending, the way the ending, the post-credit scene set up, is I feel like they're doing Ernie Hudson justice now.
Yeah,
They're trying to make like a sequel to this. That's going to be like, Ernie Hudson, you're in charge. You're driving the ship now.
He's the Nick
And I thought that was really cool.
I told Cameo that was one of my favorite things, was that he got his comeuppance in this movie. You know?
Oh yeah.
So an important, he was an important person, and I thought that was really, really good. Just to some of the other people's performances and stuff, I thought Paul Rudd was pretty good. He's just Paul Rudd. He's a funny guy.
The sexiest man alive.
Yeah, that. Right? Yeah. But he was good in it. The kids, though, I thought were really good. The Phoebe McKenna Grace was her name, and then of course,
she was incredible.
Finn. Yeah, I didn't realize this until later that she was in the Fuller House series on Netflix, the sequel to Full House.
I didn't recognize her.
I did.
I did too, but I didn't recognize her from the Full House. But yeah, she was. Then her brother in the movie, he was also, of course, in Stranger Things and It. But but
kid is like is a skeleton. Like, I mean, that kid is so skinny.
Yeah.
I was gonna say
his career has been fantastic.
Yes.
Gosh, yeah.
You're gonna play a teen with a slight attitude that tries to be funny but not that funny.
Yeah.
You do that in everything you do. Yes. Here's 10 roles.
Right.
That kid is just that kid is crushing that one character. He is crushing it. He's the Pauly Shore of modern day. Just crushing that one character.
That's funny. I gotta ask, because he was in Stranger Things, and they did like the Ghostbusters where they all dressed up for him one Halloween.
Yeah.
And they had the action figures of them and the ghosts. Do you have those? Because I missed out on those.
I did not buy those action figures. I just didn't want them.
Yeah.
Because they had them at GameStop on clearance.
They
it
did.
was like $10.
Like the one in Belle Isle.
And I was like, I got enough toys.
Yeah.
What am I going to do with those?
I kind of want them now, though. I wish I would have got them.
And now you want them. Now you want at least the Finn Wolfhard one.
Yeah, yeah.
You definitely want just his action figure, especially.
Yeah, because you're right. They were on clearance. That's what's sad. Is I should have got them.
It was. I think that's a very niche action figure to want to make.
Yeah.
So Stranger Things action figures, but Stranger Things figures dressed as Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Like they had those. Did you see those Ninja Turtles Ghostbusters crossover figures they made?
Yes.
Yeah.
They were like Target exclusives, and they're just like the Ninja Turtles dressed as Ghostbusters.
Yeah, I didn't pick them up, but I was like, so close, so close.
And then Walmart had the WWE wrestlers dressed as Ghostbusters.
Oh, I didn't see those.
I was like Stone Cold, The Rock, and someone else, and they had full Ghostbusters outfits on and stuff like that.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool.
I was like, everything's mixing with Ghostbusters. I'm not mad about it, but some things I'm like, but why?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why? Like, you know what we need? We need a Dwayne The Rock Johnson Ghostbusters figure with the sleeves cut off. That's what we need.
Right.
I don't need that. I don't need that.
So
Okay, so that in that scene when you see that hand grab Phoebe's arm, and a
Oh,
ghost hand comes out.
yeah.
Am I the only person whose heart just like
No.
exploded out of his chest and just an explosion of energy? Or you're like, of course that's what's happening.
No. Well, I mean, it wasn't totally unexpected, but of course, the way they did it, and just I felt like it was like, oh my gosh, that looks great, and you know,
yeah.
it looked great and it worked great, and I'm glad they didn't really have him talk.
Yeah. I like how they made the spoiler alert, the ghost Harold Ramis. It didn't look like Harold Ramis as he died.
Yeah.
Like how Harold Ramis actually aged and passed away is not what he looked like. They made it look like more like the cartoon Harold Ramis. Like here's like if you just had to draw old man Egon, this is what it looked like.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So they kept him looking still physically like he did in the first two, and I thought that was amazing. And that scene where they're all four standing next to each other, and you know, Ernie Hudson kind of looks over, and they all kind of look over.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is what I needed. I wanted 4 old men Ghostbusters side by side. This was worth it. This 1 second scene was worth 30 years of waiting.
What I thought was funny though was like, you know, Peter and Ray, they looked at him like, okay, cool. But Ernie Hudson was looking at him like, what the hell? I was cracking up. I love that.
That was like a big fan what's the word?
Service?
Yes, fan service.
I mean, it was like Luke Skywalker showing up at the end of Mandalorian or whatever. You know what I mean?
Right.
But, never watched it. Thanks.
Oh my God. What are you? You never watched it and you watch Nerds to Men? Who are you?
I don't. I fast forward to those part of your episodes.
Oh, do you really?
Because I'm gonna watch it eventually.
Oh crap! I'm sorry.
I'm gonna watch it eventually. Oh, I did. I've hit so many spoilers.
Okay, I was gonna say like
if it's on Disney, I have not watched any of the Disney Plus series.
Okay.
Well,
but I've watched every episode of Batwoman on CW. So you know.
Yeah.
I mean, I cannot get jiggy with Batwoman. I can't. I couldn't.
Well, we won't spoil any more Mandalorian. We'll stay on Ghostbusters.
You can talk about all the Mandalorian you want. It doesn't matter.
but again, like that, it was just one of those perfect things. Like they couldn't have done it any better. I don't think.
Oh no, it was. I think it was done so tasteful and in such a beautifully tribute way.
Right.
Yes.
Even that last little for Harold that comes up on the screen. Even that was like, oh God, just one more. You had to do one more.
And I think having his son doing this movie this time probably had a lot to do with that.
It's not Harold Ramis' son.
No, Ivan Reitman's son.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you know that Ivan Reitman was the stand-in for Ghost Harold Ramis?
I did not know that.
That hand that goes to grab Phoebe's hand with the proton, that's actually Ivan Reitman's hand.
Oh, that's cool.
They put a full suit and jumpsuit on him, and that's him. He was the stand-in CGI hand that comes out as Ivan Reitman.
But yeah, so that's what I mean. Like having Jason direct it, I think is what gave us a lot of that. Because if you had somebody else do it,
he was
it
in Ghostbusters too.
Was he?
Yeah,
I don't remember that.
So that little kid birthday party at the beginning of Ghostbusters 2, they're like, He-Man. He's the kid whose birthday party it is.
Okay.
That's him as a little kid.
That's hilarious. I didn't realize that. That's really funny.
He credits himself as being the very first Ghostbusters fan.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Because like he was there when his dad was like working with them writing the original and stuff like this. Like he was a little kid, but he remembers like being there and around it. So he's like, I was the first fan.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
And they're like, okay, but Juno was okay.
I wish that they brought Rick Moranis back for this. Like, put him in like some type of, I don't know, just in it for a reason.
They tried.
Probably.
They definitely, they had to have asked him.
Yeah.
But if he didn't do the girl one, he's not going to do this one.
Well, I read that he doesn't really do much anymore. I mean, I think he's done. He hasn't
been on screen since like that last Honey, I Shrunk the Kid thing.
Yeah.
He retired from acting for his family.
Yeah.
Okay.
When his wife passed away, and he decided to he took a break. He stopped acting to be there with all his kids. And then all he does is like voiceover work for like cartoons. So like some voiceover work here and there. But like he won't get back into acting. I'm like, your kids are graduated now. Like they're adults now. Come back to Ghostbusters, please.
Yeah.
Right.
But you're right.
I don't know where you could have brought him into the new movie. I mean, I was let down by the Sigourney Weaver cameo because I thought she would have a much bigger part in this.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I thought all the original guys would have bigger parts in this, being it more than the time they were. I mean, they're only in the movie for like 10 minutes. So I still thought it'd be more than that. I definitely thought Sigourney Weaver would be more than a cameo during the, a mid-credit cameo. So that was kind of, I mean, I even wanted more Annie Potts.
Yeah.
Janine for you guys.
But that's where I was wondering, like, maybe they could have had, I mean, kind of shoehorned him in with her, Rick Moranis, that is. But I would have liked
to.
He
comes to the room as the accountant, like, the books aren't right.
Yeah.
Right.
That would have, I think that would have been great.
Did you guys get the popcorn?
No, I didn't. I was like, maybe should I? But I'm broke, man. I'm broke.
I bought 5 of them.
Oh, you did?
Did you see these, Brad?
No. Where what was that?
An AMC exclusive. It was a popcorn dispenser. Like you can put your popcorn and stuff inside.
Oh my gosh.
Hold a large popcorn and it lights up and everything.
That is so
Cameo,
cool.
You didn't get one?
No, I didn't. I didn't.
Every AMC only got like 50 to 60 of them, and they sold out opening day.
Because
I went and saw the advanced screening; they weren't available, so I had to go back to the theater the next morning, right when they opened. Like, how many can I carry to my car? Because AMC doesn't really have bags to put toys in. So I'm just like carry this tower of figures through the mall.
That's pretty funny. I went and saw it in IMAX at the Warren there in Moore, which was great.
I'm mad I didn't go see it in the 4X, like the
one where,
like the seat rumbles and stuff like that.
I want to see that.
Yeah, I saw that. What was it? It was at AMC, but it was the is it called the D box?
Yeah.
Or
D box in Tinseltown.
Dolby, the Dolby Cinema. That's the one I saw it in.
Cinemark is the D box one.
Okay.
Everyone loves the D box.
Well, since I'm
not so well together,
since I've decided, since I haven't like been going out to the theaters as much, I'm only going for IMAX movies from now on.
I mean, I still don't feel. I can't do 3D movies.
No, I don't like 3D.
I don't do 3D, but like the IMAX, that's just a big screen.
Yeah.
The Dolby, I feel like the Dolby is the way to go over IMAX.
Really?
The sound for Dolby, like Ghostbusters and Dolby. I haven't seen it, but they made the movie for Dolby. So apparently, if you see it in Dolby, it's a completely different movie. Because like there's like tiny little sound effects and like music nodes where they added like sound effects from the first Ghostbusters. They added into this that you can only hear in the Dolby. Well, it's like behind you, like a little hint behind you in the speakers, kind of thing.
Do you have an iPhone perchance?
No.
Oh, okay. So the iPhones have this. They have this new technology called Dolby Atmos or something, and it's like with headphones and stuff. It puts it all in like almost surround sound, and it really is pretty crazy. So
that's pretty cool.
Yeah. So that's your description of the Dolby movie makes me want to go see it now over there.
Go see the Dolby that has the vibrating seats and stuff.
Yeah, that'd be cool. That'd be real cool.
Because Cinemark has the seats that like they move and like thrust you forward and stuff like this. Have you seen those?
Yeah.
Oh, I've never done it, but I feel like if there ever was a movie, this or a Fast and Furious movie.
Right. Yeah.
Speaking of Fast and Furious, that's where I get into the bad reviews for this movie. People that, if you don't like Fast and Furious 4, 5, and 6, or haven't seen 7 and 8, you aren't the one I want to review Fast and Furious 9.
Yeah.
Right.
So if you don't like Ghostbusters 1 and 2 or haven't really seen or followed Ghostbusters 2 and are like deep in the fantasy, you aren't the person I wanted to review new Ghostbusters movie.
That's true. Right. That's true. I mean, if somebody's going to look at it with just an eye to tear it down, I mean, I don't know, they might could find stuff, but of course, I loved it from an emotional standpoint, but as as somebody who does watch a lot of movies, I thought it was just a really well done movie, good pacing, good timing, all of that. And the story never lagged, I didn't think, even though, like I said, compared to some of the others, it may have started a little slower, but
well, see, and then when you have a critique movies that are like prequels to pop culture, and they're not into the pop culture at all, it's just like, your words mean nothing to me. Like, would I want somebody that who critiques Martin Scorsese's movies over somebody who, sorry, let me say that again. I don't want somebody like a critic that, always watches Martin Scorsese's movies to critique a Spider-Man film. Because it's just two different things, I mean, now if Martin Scorsese did a Spider-Man film, which I think would probably be kind of weird, but kind of cool at the same time, then, all right, I can see that. But yeah, no, I'm just not going
to Martin Scorsese talking crap on the Avengers movies.
Yeah. Hey,
yeah.
Cameo.
Right?
Cameo.
Huh?
Guess what I've been doing the last 2 weeks?
What?
Rewatching all the Scorsese movies.
This guy.
Goodfellas, Casino, The Irishman.
And the thing is, I like Martin Scorsese's movies.
No, I do too. But you gotta have.
But I mean,
there's like cinema and there's good fun movies, and both of them are good. You know what I mean? It just depends on what you're in the mood for.
Yeah.
Did you watch The Irishman more than once?
I've seen it like 3 or 4 times.
Why?
I still have
much time. Who has that much time?
A, I love it, and then B, we probably have a mutual friend, I'm sure, Provo. Yeah. Like I work with him, and we talk about this stuff all the time. But like he always would tell me about his uncle, Tony Pro, who had supposedly killed Hoffa, and I was like, oh, that's cool. And then like when it showed up in this movie, like as the main, that was a pretty big part of the movie. I was like, that's awesome. So. It is a long movie, but I don't mind.
I've never heard that story from Provo ever.
Really? Yeah.
Never. Ever.
His the Provenzanos, they also they are famous for owning a bunch of the docks in New Orleans, and they had big mafia wars over that.
I just know the guy with bright orange dreadlocks.
Yeah.
The guy I know.
Yeah. So that's pretty funny. But yeah, I don't know. I don't mind slow, long movies, but if it's called Ghostbusters, I wouldn't want it to be slow and long. I wouldn't want a Scorsese movie in the Ghostbusters world. Like, you know what I mean?
So one thing about this movie that did bother me is I said Ghostbusters 2 is my favorite, and that they made it almost seem like Ghostbusters 2 didn't exist. Now you have the Raise a Cult bookstore, which is definitely a throwback to Ghostbusters 2. That's kind of the only throwback. I guess there's a toaster in the kitchen of the farmhouse. And it's supposed to be the toaster from the dancing toaster from the second one.
Right.
Other than that, there's like no Ghostbusters type 2 throwbacks. And like the kid, like no one's heard of the Ghostbusters. Like, how do you not hear of the Ghostbusters? And then at the same time, they're like watching old YouTube videos, and they're saying like some people don't think it's real, and they think it was a conspiracy theory, and that the whole Stay Puft Marshall Man thing didn't happen. What about a giant Statue of Liberty walking through New York City 3 years later? I feel like if that happened, how are people still not believing that the Ghostbusters are real and exist?
I agree with you on that, because when they first were going that route, and then of course they did try to cover it up, a little bit but in the second movie, you remember like at the beginning, like the judge he didn't believe that there were really any ghosts, and he was
that's true.
You know what I mean? So I think they just have really short
Thousands
memories.
Of people saw a giant man of marshmallow.
Yeah.
In New York, the biggest city in the United States.
There'd be one TV crew there. One is all you need.
Right.
Statue of Liberty walked so slow. Someone had a camera to take it. But so Jason Reitman has said that Ghostbusters 2 is canon, because fans are kind of upset about it. He said that Ghostbusters 2 is canon. They are working on a possible set of sequels to follow Afterlife. And that this thing, an interview he posted, it was yesterday, before yesterday, where he brings up Vigo the Carpathian from the second movie, saying, would you guys like to see Vigo again? Like, yes, that original painting was destroyed, but you don't think there could be more than one painting of him? Like maybe riding a horse or something like this. And I'm like, I feel like we got what we needed as fans. We got the Ghostbusters 3 that tied it into the first one. I don't need Ghostbusters 4 to tie into the second one. I feel like let's start a whole new thing going. Because I don't want to, he did a great job not ruining it. It's a big risk. I would hate for him to take a second giant risk and ruin it. Let's start something fresh.
Yeah.
I feel like we have Ernie Hudson at the very end of the movie coming into the firehouse, pulling the car in. Let's start something fresh, start something new, start a whole new story.
Right. Yeah, I agree with that. And like I said earlier, so you think Ernie Hudson's like the Nick Fury of these new ghost-busting Avengers?
I think that's what they're going to do because they got Bill Murray to do this one. I can't see them convincing Bill Murray to keep going.
Yeah.
I don't see
You know what I mean? Dan Aykroyd's definitely down because he's like the heart of Ghostbusters in the real world. I mean, he has Ghost Corps in the Sony lot. I mean, Dan Aykroyd's been the one person keeping this whole franchise alive this whole time.
Well, and he's into all that in real life too.
Yeah, so I just can't see Bill Murray kind of coming back over and over again. He'd be like, okay, guys, I did it for you this 2 times. So I think Bill Murray's a risk. So I think that if you just get a whole new story, a whole new plot, a whole new situation going, you won't need to bring back the old guys as much because they won't be involved in the lore of it.
Yeah, I agree. So what do you think? Ghostbuster franchises all over the nation, or sticking to Phoebe and her brother and this?
Well, that was the original one of the original plots they had of the original thing was that it was be like after the girl one or before the girl one came out.
Mm-hmm.
They were doing a guy one too. Remember, how Channing Tatum was cast in another Ghostbusters movie, but because the girl one flopped so bad, they didn't make it. But it was supposed to be like Ghostbusters International kind of thing.
Oh yeah,
it was going to be like Ghostbusters headquarters, all across the country and stuff like that. And in the comic book, there's a thing in the comic book, and Ernie Hudson is like the CEO of Ghostbusters in the comic, and he basically oversees all these different Ghostbusters franchises or headquarters across the country. See, I do read some of the comics, Canon.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, like kind of like you were saying though, I do want to see more movies, but I don't want them to I guess Star Wars it to where they've made
right, exactly.
They've done like this you were saying.
This was the Force Awakens fans really wanted.
Yeah, it was.
Yep.
It was.
Yep.
This is what they wanted out of Force Awakens, not what we got out of Force Awakens.
Yeah. And they're, just subtle differences, but they had like you said, Slimer and the Muncher, or like the little tiny Stay Puft. And that was all great for people, to, like you said, throwbacks and callbacks and stuff like that. But they didn't do too much of it, and they made it its own movie.
Yeah.
So that was
they didn't shove it down your throat.
Right.
And then I thought
it was kind of like if you noticed it in the background, you were like, oh, great. But they weren't like picking up every little thing. Like, look at this throwback. Look at this throwback.
Right.
Like how Podcast had the ecto goggles.
Yeah.
They didn't even show where he found the goggles or anything like this. I'm like, okay, cool. We already got PKs. We already got backpack. I don't need 30 minutes of this movie her picking up every single item from the first movie. Like, look at this. Look at this.
Right.
Yeah. I'm glad they didn't put too much into nostalgia in that fact.
Now, I think they missed an opportunity, though. She should, because like you said, nobody knew how to use the equipment. She should have accidentally disintegrated Podcast, and then he goes on as a ghost throughout the rest of the movie.
Maybe just shot his arm off or something. Like his arm got cut off or something.
Right.
Yeah. I wonder if
I don't know how Phoebe
a
carried the fucking pack. I don't know. I'm sorry.
You can cuss. That's fine. No, you're
good. You're good.
I didn't know if Phoebe could carry the pack. I mean, in the movie, they're complaining about how heavy they are the whole time.
Yeah.
She's a small girl.
Yeah.
No offense to this, but I think in real life, the props weigh 50 plus pounds.
Mm-hmm.
The movie one, in the movie, is gonna be made of not fiberglass. It's gonna be made of metal and steel and real products. And that thing's gonna weigh 80 to 100 pounds on her back. And she just strap it on, walk around.
Right.
That was kind of a hard thing to believe.
Yeah.
And that, especially that she just knew how it worked, and she had no fear in firing it at the end when what's her face? Oh, I forgot her character. Lucky had the pack at the very end.
Oh,
and like she has just discovered this whole thing, and she's like, "Oh yeah, throw that pack on me," and just fires away.
yeah.
Like, these are neutrino ones and proton accelerators strapped to your back. I mean, it's kind of a weird thing for a and I thought that was kind of weird.
Yeah.
But the ecto car, the gunner seat, and the trap,
dude,
that was so
dope.
cool.
When that remote control trap dropped out, I mean, woo,
Yeah.
woo.
Yeah. I definitely thought that was cool. So like if you were
I'm glad you guys liked it, by the way, because this conversation has been super weird. If like I'm like, I loved it, 10 out of 10. You guys are both like, this thing sucked.
Here's
horrible.
Here's the thing. Like I knew, like in my heart, I knew it was going to be good. You know what I'm saying? I just knew it was going to be good, knowing who was involved, knowing that the people were coming back and all that. But then, like I say, when I heard other people talking about it, I was like, oh God, maybe they fucked it up, and that'd be terrible. But I didn't think so at all. Like, and I don't know if maybe going in with a lower expectation just blew my mind, but I don't think that was the case. I think it was just, as a Ghostbuster lover, like I loved this movie, and I would agree with you, 10 out of 10.
Yeah. Agreed.
I was kind of curious because, like, everybody that I personally know who's seen it said they loved it. So, it probably is one of those things where if you're not really a fan of it, it's not going to hit as hard, or, if you're just not into that kind of thing. And that's cool too. But I did think that they had even like some influences of like current horror movies with the jump scares and stuff that they, they didn't do stuff like that necessarily back in the day, but in those other movies. So it was a good mix of like comedy and kind of like a scary movie.
And I think that's what Ghostbusters always had, was like you had that horror aspect. It had that Gremlins feel.
Yeah.
It had the horror aspect and the comedy aspect.
And it works.
And it could work as toys in a cartoon. So it just appeals to so many different medias. I thought that was a fantastic, that Ghostbusters and Beetlejuice and Gremlins and things like that I've always had.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I got one more question for you before we get out of here. Some people do this. I didn't know if, the Viggo, do you have his poster?
No, I do not.
I want to get one and put it in the bathroom. So that
if you want, so if you want the big one, someone has on Etsy, you can go on Etsy and get them. But they actually have like the mock like paint stretched over canvas.
Oh, really?
And it's like full movie life size, and it has like a nice frame. They're on Etsy. I think they're like $300.
Oh God!
But I mean, it's a full. I don't know where I'd put it. Where am I going to put a 10?
I've heard people
painting.
I've heard people put them in their bathrooms, and that way it's creepy because he stares at you.
It's gonna be looking down.
Yeah,
like above the toilet, he's like looking down at you.
Yeah,
with the river of slime and the river and the skulls.
Yeah, that'd be great. I gotta get it. Maybe I'll just have somebody paint a mural in my bathroom. That'll work.
There you go.
Of just Viggo.
Yeah, yeah.
I would rather have the painting from the end of Ghostbusters 2.
Oh yeah,
I think it's one of the fettuccinis, is what he says. Like the painting turns into like all of them. You know what I mean? Like holding the Oscar and stuff like this. I would rather actually have that painting if I'm hanging it on my wall.
Yeah.
But if I'm getting a tattoo, I would much rather have a tattoo of Viggo the Carpathian.
Yeah.
With the river of slime and skulls.
So which tattoos do you have? So you showed some of them. Let's see, you had the marshmallow.
See this?
Yeah.
Stay Puft. Look at all the guys. See around here. The firehouse is somewhere. Right here's the firehouse. Armpit is Slimer with the trap.
Oh.
You got Goes with the Gozerian.
Dope.
And then the Terror Dog right here.
Nice.
That's cool.
Nice.
That's cool.
So
and then my leg is all Beetlejuice.
Sweet.
I got Beetlejuice and the strip club from Beetlejuice on my leg.
That's pretty dope.
I'm not going to put that on your podcast about children's shows.
Yeah, we'll save that for everybody to see in person when they see you out at shows and stuff.
Hey Riley, take your pants off so we can see your Beetlejuice tattoo.
Yeah. They got to say it 3 times though. That's the thing.
Right.
Please, please, please. That's what
Well, thank you, Riley.
once. I got you.
We appreciate you coming on and talking Ghostbusters. And next time something, tickles your fancy, let us know and come back on with us.
Okay, no problem. Everyone follow me on Instagram, Riley Virus, Virus.
Right on. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, guys. You guys have a good day.
You too, boss.
All right, Cameo, before we get out of here today, I want to talk about a couple of things that's going on before, we want to hit it before our next show for show, because who knows, that might be 4 months from now. No, but Hawkeye just started last week, right? Debuted with 2 hours, or 2 shows anyway.
Yeah.
And I wanted to get your thoughts on it because there's a few things that I liked about this show a lot, and I don't know, like there wasn't a lot that I didn't like, but I feel like we're so early in that I'm still kind of like, okay, what's gonna happen? You know what I mean? But I really kind of think it's cool the way that like it started, kind of like the same way as was it the Loki that started with Avengers? The fight there. Yeah. But it showed him stealing the Tesseract and going off to do his thing. And so I like how this one gave us another shot or another viewpoint of that whole battle and what was going on. And then tied into what happens in this series. Do you like that? Or do you think that they're like, I don't know, maybe trying to ride all that stuff too heavy?
No, I think it was pretty much needed. I'm glad it wasn't. I would say it's so much needed that it was warranted in the way they did it. It was good to see her, get her love of archery from basically Hawkeye saving her.
Right.
So I think that, even if it was, let's say, what's his Iron Man, let's say that she took up an idea of engineering, because they have money, as you could see in the film, they have money. So it's not like, her resources from that couldn't be the same as Tony Stark's and she can make her own suit. But it's kind of cool to see, a young person who wants to look at one of the, I would say he's a lesser known Avenger, but they do kind of set it up like that, right? Because in the earlier episode, I think it was in episode 1, he's at the Rogers the Musical. Yes.
Which I would not go see.
I would not either.
But even in that one, it was kind of like, his was like the lesser character. And so they were playing on that. But yeah, so for him to be so influential to her.
Yeah.
And again, I do, like, I'm not saying that I think that they're doing too much with that. I think it's cool to like see some of the other little stories that were going on during that big battle, and things like that you would think would happen, like people would be in their buildings, and that would be terrifying in my mind. She didn't seem too terrified. I thought I would be crying in a little ball, like, oh my God.
Right. And and this is not a spoiler or anything, but it happens in the very beginning. Why? Sorry, my dog has some things to say. I don't know if you heard that, but what I don't understand is this little girl was calling out for her mom and dad for like 10 minutes straight.
Yeah.
Where were they?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden Hawkeye saves her, and then the mom comes out like, "Oh, honey, where?"
I was looking all over for you.
Right. No, you weren't. You weren't even screaming for me.
Yeah.
Like,
you almost let me die.
Here.
Yeah.
I hate when movies do stuff like that, or shows,
I did notice that, because like it was too long. Like if they had like something collapse and she's screaming from her from the other side or something, that would make more sense. But the way that they did that, I agree with you. It was kind of like a little forced. because she was gone for like a long time.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure, like, if it were me, I mean, you have kids too, but as soon as all that starts popping off, that's where the first thing I'm going to do is run and
find my kids.
Yeah. So, Haley Steinfeld, she's on the poster here.
Mm-hmm.
Does she have like I don't guess she has any sort of official superhero name, does she?
Nah, it's just Hawkeye. Like whenever or I should say Clint Barton.
Does she take over for Hawkeye?
Yeah, she's in the
comics?
Hawkeye in the Young Avengers.
Okay.
But I think they just call her Kate Bishop.
Yeah. Well, in this one, she kind of she's involved with these people. Well, like we had mentioned, her family's rich, and so they're up to no good.
Yeah.
What is it about that? Like Danny Rand's family, and
right?
But
I don't know.
Yeah, but there's some dirty dealings going on, and she doesn't really like the guy who her mom's about to marry, so she's snooping, and she comes across the Ronin outfit and takes that. And so for a minute, I thought she was going to be like the new Ronin for maybe the series, but that didn't last very long. Mm-hmm. But that did get Clint's attention. So he came looking for her to find out who's got the suit,
Yeah.
Because obviously when he wore the suit, he had made a lot of enemies, and those are people you don't want coming to look for you. So.
Right.
Now he's got to protect her. Now, a couple things that I do want to, I just notes that I made mentally throughout the show. Why does Clint have so much money and Captain America can't even get a loan from the bank? Because it seems like Clint's doing pretty good. Now he's married. Maybe his wife has a good income. I don't know. I'm just saying. I don't feel like they've been looking out for Captain America. Captain Falcon America. You know what I mean? I know what you're thinking. I know what you're thinking. And we could make this a commentary on capitalism and how it affects different people and different society and all that, but we won't.
Yeah.
But I will say they need to cut Captain America a check. Anyway, also, well, we'll talk about this in a minute though. So anyway, I thought she was pretty cool though as a new addition to make this show, a little more interesting. So he's got to kind of look over her, but she's got like martial arts training or whatever, right? And she's good with a bow and arrow, and
a sword. Yeah.
And I loved that opening, like where we first meet her, and she's like shooting that arrow at the bell at her school.
Oh yeah.
And it becomes like a big, a big ordeal. But
right. So
Chris Dumm, who is one of our longtime listeners, watchers of the podcast, he had mentioned to us that his take was that it's a good filler between some of the others. And I don't know, like, I get that there's probably nothing that's going to be like super mind blowing that happens. Like, I don't think it's not like the story of Captain America, Falcon trying to be Captain America and all that, or Loki, but I just think for what it is, it's just going to be a good, like, action heavy, some humor, just like, a Marvel movie that you would get about Hawkeye, right?
Yeah.
So I don't necessarily see it as filler though, because I think that he's got an interesting story all of his own, because again, he might not be struggling with money, but he's definitely struggling because he's got to live these two lives. He wants to be a family man and, do all this stuff with the family, be home in time for Christmas.
Right.
But he still is an Avenger, even if he doesn't get recognized in public.
Right.
And begrudgingly an Avenger at this point. So now I do I do kind of want to ask you though, is there any way that this would take place? Because where are we right now in the timeline? Do you know? In their timeline in the present. Is it our present? Because I mean, yeah, because everybody, Natasha's dead.
Yeah.
So
this is after, end game. I don't know
but
how far after.
Is it after what happened in Loki? You see what I'm saying? Is it after what happened in Loki and before, I guess, what's going to happen in Spider-Man, where everybody, comes through the multiverse?
Well, I don't know. I think it might be the same time as Spider-Man. Well, no, because it's almost Christmas. I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know where this all.
Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, I just don't know where all this is going to fall. But I mean, as you know, this is, going obviously happened after Black Widow's dead. Obviously, it's way after her movie. Mm-hmm. And you don't really see the time frame after the Black Widow movie. You just see her go off at the end, and then you see her sister go to her gravesite. So there's really no time frame how long after that is. If what's her Florence Pugh is going to show up in the series. I heard she was, but again, I don't know.
That'd be awesome. That'd be dope.
Yeah. So I'm hoping so, because I can't. What's her name? I think they call her Madam Hydra in the comics, or she's playing that character. But she's the one at the end of Captain America.
Julia Louis-Dreyfus.
Yes.
Yeah. So she's going to be back in this one.
That's what I'm thinking.
Probably. I would say you're probably right.
Because, she did say at the end of the Black Widow film that to Florence Pugh's character that Clint Barton was the reason for Black Widow's death.
Yeah.
Even though she's only given her the half truth, but
right.
Yeah, it is what it is. But so I'm thinking that, like, in a way, I kind of agree with Chris in the sense that it's a filler, but in a sense that we're getting introduced to more characters and seeing where the MCU is going after this. Because I think with Loki, you don't really know what time frame it is, because it's a whole bunch of time travel, and the time variant agency is like in no time, I guess you could say. I'm going to assume it's in the future, but you don't really know.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
well, I would almost imagine that they exist outside of time somehow.
Exactly. So that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
And
so I would say it's filler if Florence Pugh doesn't show up and that happens in a movie later on. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. If she does, then I don't know that it's all that much filler. In fact, what I was going to ask, but then again, I kind of, my answer would be don't waste it on the TV show. But could we see Natasha come back through one of these multiverse portals?
Maybe.
I don't know how all that's going to work yet, because obviously we haven't seen Spider-Man.
Yeah. But also, too, we see it in the What If series that she came back in one timeline. But that was when Captain Carter was, the new, or the Captain America. So, yeah, you just don't know. And then I heard also, too, that Scarlett Johansson, who plays Black Widow, if you didn't know that, but she is supposedly working on some Marvel film, going to be working on a Marvel show or something.
Yeah, so that's
something Marvel related.
That's why I think that would probably be the thing, is they're going to bring her back somehow, which means they can bring back anybody. Then they can. That's why,
just like the comic books, man.
I know. I just that's so that might be like, when we were talking to Riley earlier about some of the things that people don't like about comic book movies as opposed to like cinema. but that might be one of them, right? Like,
Yeah,
you know, if somebody dies in Goodfellas, that dude's dead.
you're right.
He ain't coming back. Okay.
There's no other universe where there's another Goodfellas.
Yeah.
No, there's not.
Joe Pesci does not come back. But you know, I just kind of, that's the kind of thing that like I could kind of see where people might get tired of that. Cause like I get tired of it. Like I got tired of it. Like what was the last Star Wars movie? I told you, like, I was like, they should have just killed Chewbacca. Don't do it for like
a shock value.
Yeah, and then bring him back. Because I mean, of course, you brought him back, and we're all like, oh, thank God. But then again, it just if you keep doing that, because we thought they were going to like basically end C-3PO and as well. And if you keep doing it, then it gets, you know, like where it's not that special. It's like that stupid show called Titans. Where I don't know, you could probably have a better time telling me who hasn't been brought back to life somehow.
Right.
Right. And after a while, that just gets to be like, okay, well, that guy's not dead. That girl's not dead, you know?
Yeah.
Now, at the same time, bring back Natasha. I'm fine with that. Yeah.
but you know how it always goes in like comic books. If you don't see a body, then they're not dead.
Soap operas too.
Right.
My stories.
They'll be in comas for like 12 seasons and then
cryogenically frozen.
All right.
Oh yeah. I love how they wake up after a 12-year coma and they're like, "Ooh, I'm feeling good. Let's get up and run around. Walk around."
Right. They spend 2 minutes in the hospital recovering from their coma and they're just like, oh,
time to
back
go.
in the gym working out.
Yeah. Dun, 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 dun. It's my little montage, my little coma montage. So 2 episodes. I'm glad they did the 2 episodes like they did, because after the very first one, I was like, oh man, that one left me like, I need more. I need a lot more.
Right.
And then the second one, the second episode was really good as well. And again, I needed more. Now, I didn't believe that there were any middle post scene credit scenes, right?
No.
Nah. So,
probably won't get that until the very end.
Well, I want to talk about Spider-Man before we get out of here, but I want to mention one more thing, because I did want to get your take on this. Did you see that they are going to do a Captain America movie with Sam as the Captain America? Well, the producers, directors, whomever were saying that, you know, in this movie, they're going to like really put him through the ringer and they're going to make him earn it and yada, 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 which really is like trope for every superhero, right? You know,
right.
That every superhero, we're going to put them through the ringer and they're going to have to earn it.
Yeah.
I feel like he already earned it though.
Yeah.
Like, what does that mean? Right? Am I reading too much into that? Because I think I am in a way, because I think that's just throwaway crap they say. But why? Why in this case, especially?
Because I mean, he's not a 6 foot, blonde hair, blue eyed white man. So
I disagree with them. I disagree with that kind of outlook on it. Not yours. But I'm saying that they would say that you know, they've got to keep throwing them through the ringer, like, and making them earn it. Like,
yeah,
I get what they're probably saying, but you know, because there might be people still who wouldn't accept him as Captain America for whatever reason,
right?
Being that he's not the original, or because he is a black man. But other than that, I don't know that needs to be the focus, since we've already seen that be the focus.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
That's all I have. That's all I have to say about it. Another thing though, Spider-Man. All right. Oh, I like that poster. Is that a new poster? Is that an official poster?
No, it's not.
Oh, okay. Because go ahead.
If you can tell, these Dr. Octopus arms are from the Spider-Man PS4 game.
Oh, okay. All right.
So yeah. And then I mean, these two, Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire's, that's, the normal suits. And I feel like the Tom Holland Spider-Man, that just looks like the game version of the suit, but I could be totally wrong. But yeah, I mean, if you've seen the trailers, this is going to happen at some point in the film.
I want to say though, the all the stuff leading up to this film has got people on Twitter just stupid. Like they criticize everything, like the posters. And I get it, I don't know that the official poster was all that exciting. I mean, the one behind you looks pretty dope. Yeah. But again, it's posters. We're talking about posters. Like I'm going back to the Allen Iverson practice. We're talking about practice. Posters. We're talking about posters. Like, okay, I'm sure. And there are great posters. There are iconic posters. Okay. But tell me this isn't going to be an awesome movie. And that if they made a poster that's a little underwhelming, that's going to ruin the movie. Tell me that, Cameo. Because I don't think you will, because you're not nuts.
No, I'm not. I mean, posters mean absolutely nothing to me.
Yeah, me either. Like when I was a kid, I hung up all the movie posters, and I still have I still have a couple ones. Like I said, some of them are iconic.
Yeah,
but I'm not going to be like, this movie's trash because the poster is whatever.
Right.
They used a stock photo. Oh my god. Yeah. People are nuts, man.
Yeah, they are. They are, for sure.
Because imagine how nuts they're going to be when they find out that Tom Holland's playing all three of the Spider-Men. That's my hot take.
Dude, I like that. I like that. But as you see in Loki, there was only one other Loki that looked like him.
That is true.
So that, they very may well could do that, but I don't think they will.
So how does the variant thing work then? Like, how does it work that you would look completely different or be, a woman?
I just think it's the world, the universe that they're from. I just think that,
well, let me ask you this. Like, this is like maybe looking at it too meta, but is it more like your soul inhabiting a body that doesn't, it doesn't matter what body it looks like? You see what I'm saying? Like the soul of Loki exists in this body that we see in this universe, or this body in this universe. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. That's the only way to explain it, though, to me.
Yeah.
Because if you were,
I just
go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Well, if they were going to do this in the comic book, all of them would look alike.
Yeah.
Right.
Unless they were,
I mean, they would
black
have
or Hispanic looking or whatever, just like the black Loki.
Yeah. Well, I was thinking kind of like Spider-Verse. Like, you had one of them that was fat.
And brunette, and the other one was in shape and blonde.
But you could change hair color or be fat, like I'm sure me in another world is skinny and blonde hair. And
but they also had, different voices too.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe that is the cartoon version of them looking different, but the same at the same time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. In fact, who I'd be more psyched about, other than Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire, I'd be more psyched for Spider-Man Noir if Nicolas Cage shows up.
Oh, dude, that'd be hilarious.
That'd be great.
That'd be great.
But I'm assuming that everybody's seen the latest, I think in the last trailer, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so this trailer, a few things popped out at me that I hadn't really taken into consideration before. I did not think Green Goblin was going to be in this movie. And I did not think Willem Dafoe was going to be in this movie. And it appears that he is.
Yeah.
Well, we know Green Goblin's in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm a huge Willem Dafoe fan, even though I wasn't a fan of the Sam Raimi trilogy. Huge Willem Dafoe fan. So I'm excited about that. Now, I was joking because, well, actually I'm not, because if somehow Tom Holland is playing the other two versions of the Spider-Man, people are going to be like, that's worse than Quicksilver being a boner. Way worse.
Yeah.
Way worse. Like, people
Yeah.
would probably burn up the seats in the theater, which I'm not saying to do. But, you know, I would definitely just pour my popcorn out all over the place. No, those like the theaters deserve that. But I'm
Right.
just saying, like, if after all of this, that was the thing, that would suck. That would suck bad.
And you know that would, and like, yeah, that would suck. But the only reason why I don't think that's it is because in the trailer, Dr. Octopus said, "You're not Peter Parker," or however he said it.
Right.
But that could also mean that it could be like a Into the Spider-Verse version where Tom Holland was actually blonde in Dr. Octopus's universe. You know?
No, that was
It
Topher Grace. That was
No.
Topher Grace. That was blonde.
No, I know that. He was Eddie Brock.
I know. I'm just teasing.
Oh, I hate you. But you know what I'm saying, though. So
yeah.
But that's the only reason why I think that it's not Tom Holland is because, you know, Alfred Molina's Dr. Octopus is like, wait, you're not my Peter Parker, or you're not my Peter, or whatever.
Okay, he does say that. We don't,
Mm-hmm.
and we think that it's in the sequence that we think it is, but it might not be.
Yeah.
So I don't. It probably is though, because it would make sense. He takes off his mask. Oh, you're not Peter Parker.
Right.
Because he's not the Peter Parker that he knows from his world. But then, does that mean that there's a Doc Ock who looks different in Tom Holland's world?
Well, it seems like there isn't, because in the same, well, I don't think it's the same trailer, but in one of the trailers, they're making fun of his name. They're like, oh, that's not your real
true.
name.
Well,
unless it's in the sequence that, like you said, if it's in the same sequence, because when he was saying his name is Dr. Otto Octavius, it goes back to them and they're laughing. But again, you know, trailers especially Marvel trailers, they like to throw you off. So you're acting like you know what's actually happening. That could mean, you know, who else is it? Maybe there might be laughing at Jamie Foxx is saying, "My name's Electro."
Right.
Or what's his name? Willem Dafoe they're laughing at him because they're calling him Green Goblin.
Right. But see,
Like,
that's the thing though, is like, I think that if there is in their world, he just hasn't come to any prominence yet.
Also true.
Or would
also
have
true.
to. But that's what I'm saying. Like, is there a Green Goblin? And I guess he would look like somebody else, or, you know, a variant basically.
Yeah.
So that's stuff that I don't know if they'll explore that ever, but it's something that they could explore.
Right.
For sure. So, anything else that you kind of want to say about it before the actual movie gets here?
No, man, I'm just counting down the days. It's coming out the 17th worldwide. So that is in 19 more days. If you're not including today, but 19 more days, man, I'm excited to see it in theaters.
Man, and for the next 19 days, I'm just going to be like, all I care about is what's going to happen with Spider-Man. You know what I mean? That's
all I care about.
That's all I care about.
I just want to know what's going to happen with Spider-Man.
Yeah. You know what's funny though? It seems like not that long ago that we were talking about the very first Spider-Man, you know, and now we're 3 movies in, and
3 single solo films.
Like what is it? 5, 6 movies with Tom Holland?
There was Civil War, there was Infinity War, Endgame.
Right.
Yeah, 5. Yeah. Homecoming and Far From Home.
My prediction, this movie is going to be over the freaking top. I think it's going to be great. And I think that everybody has nothing to worry about. I don't think Tom Holland's playing all three for real. And again, if that were the case, that'd probably be the last Spider-Man movie I ever went to see. And I'm not even that big a fan of those two. That would be so stupid.
Yeah.
But they did it to us with Quicksilver, so I'm not that convinced.
Yeah, and to go back to WandaVision, I do think that could still be Quicksilver. I honestly and truthfully do. I still feel like his mind, that thing on his chest was broken. Maybe there was a spell that Agatha put on him, even if that was to break. There's always a contingency plan for something in the Marvel universe. Yeah. So I still think that he could be Quicksilver, because how could she give him powers and, control him that way, but also, still, I just don't see how she could just give him powers. I just don't see that. I'm not saying it can't happen, but she can change somebody's mind to make them think something differently. Yeah. So,
and then that would explain, the whole variant thing and them looking like different people and all of that. So, okay. All right. Well, I'm going to go with your theory for now, because that makes me happy. And I think Spider-Man's going to make everyone happy. Unless you're worried about posters. Posters? We're talking about posters?
Now, I could understand if you were talking about the movie.
Yeah.
But the posters?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. So another hot Twitter debate I saw, and I'll end on this because I thought it was pretty funny.
Okay.
They were talking about like a Christmas, like there should be kind of like a Christmas special or something for like Vision and Wanda and her kids. Mm-hmm. And, somebody pointed out that Wanda's Jewish, so she'd probably celebrate Hanukkah. And somebody else said, well, what about Vision? He probably celebrates Christmas, or, and somebody was like, no, man, Vision's holiday is Cyber Monday. Which is probably when people are going to watch this show. So happy Cyber Monday to Vision.
Oh, my goodness.
That's a wrap for me, Cameo.
I like it. All right, guys. Well, you know what to do. Keep it nerd.
Smile and put on a happy face.
Wakanda forever!
This is the way.
This is the way. This is the way.
That was awesome!
Freeze all motor functions.